No, I was bouncing. I was grooving.
Yeah, I was like,
that joke be hitting. Yes. Today's date is August 20th, 2025. The show is presented by way of StreamYard. We are live on YouTube, Twitch, and IG right now. I am Amrock. That is Dez. That is DJ No Name. We are the Black Collective, known as the HL Podcast. What's happening, fellas?
Yo, what's good?
Yeah, no complaints. Everything good.
Yeah.
Everything good. I love to hear it, especially when things it's crazy out here. But
yeah,
got a great show for y'all today. A lot is happening. They trying to take over DC. They trying to make DC District 13. Y'all motherfuckers be thinking, motherfuckers be thinking you like niggas is playing. Like, no, like watch these movies, these shows. They are telling us in advance what they are about to do. Can you hear me, people? Man, this shit's crazy.
I had to think about what District 13 was for a minute. I was like, wait, what? And that's why I stopped. I was like, wait. And I was like, oh, snap. It's the truth, though.
They got Amanda Seals out here talking to black conservatives. We're gonna get into that a little bit. ESPN, is it time? I mean, we already boycotting UFC, if y'all ain't know, but ESPN, is it time? They out here canceling Colin Kaepernick and Spike Lee. We gonna get into that. Double standards. What does that mean, right? Real MCs, of course, we that's what we do, right? We watch movies, we watch TV. Of course, we got our what have we watched lately? A new Black Panther theory that's been circulating. Dez, of course, got his movie review. If you haven't checked out his movie review on Superman, go check it out now on his IG page. It is tight. Of course, our top 10 list predicting future events or things that are about to happen.
Yeah, I can't wait for that one.
Yeah, that's just gonna be crazy.
Yeah,
Rock still messed it up, y'all. No,
I got this list from another. What you mean?
Yeah, he messed it up for 26 already.
Right now, but
ain't even in 26. Already messed it up.
Man, I do want to circle back on the Jalen Hurts thing, but I might have to circle back on that and talk about Stephen A. Smith, man. Because this dude, look, he don't know me from a can of paint, but at the same time, man, this man is a black man. He has responsibilities to the black community, whether he likes it or not. So we're gonna talk about that as well. But first up, as we always like to do, start the show with most known, unknown. All right, and for those of you, a lot of people are not aware of what's happening in Virginia right now. Shout out to Virginia, but a lot of people are not aware of what's happening right now. There are children, teenagers, all right, that are missing. Okay, this is a live report. All right, there are children, there are teenagers, there are little kids that are missing right now, and primarily black children. Okay, there is a suspicion right now that is circulating that. Well, let me start from the backstory. So since June 1st of this year through now, there have been more than 100 children that have turned up missing. That's only what, in a 2.5 month span.
Yeah,
100 children. That's not even 100 days in 2 months, right? So that means 2 kids practically are getting kidnapped or turned up missing every day right now in Virginia. It's scary, it's sad. There is speculation and a theory that is going around that there is someone or some people or some entity driving around late at night in ice cream trucks. And they pull up and everybody's like, oh, hey, ice cream, because it's 100 degrees outside. But this ice cream truck is pulling up at night into neighborhoods, okay? And it is speculated that that's how these people or this person or whomever is luring children out of the home. I don't know if people have recently seen the movie Weapons, but it's kind of I guess in that sense, like, getting children out their home and this and that. I read up on the story. I haven't seen it yet. I know you saw it, Gary, but it feels eerie in that sense, right? In trying to lure children out of their home. Now, again, this is just a speculation, but plenty of people have seen this truck. It looks like it's an ice cream truck, but then it's like freaking decked out. Like it's got a TV on the side and lights and just like it's crazy. Pretty much everything on it to attract children to that particular truck. Now, again, this isn't nobody's saying that this is what's exactly happening to these children. But again, that is definitely the speculation. That is the, I guess, the main, I won't say suspect, but the main thing, I guess, that police are looking at or people are looking at right now. So just want to bring awareness to this, all right? Because, the podcast is based in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and also based in Richmond, Virginia as well, and Baltimore. But Virginia, close to my heart, got people live there, family there, friends there, and wherever children are turning up missing, is not okay, right? So just praying for the families of these children right now, praying that, praying that they come home safely. That's the best that we could do right now, but definitely just want to bring awareness because there is nobody talking about this. Obviously, they're talking about the bullshit that's happening in DC and Donald Trump. Nobody's bringing attention to this, especially since it is dealing with missing Black children primarily. So definitely just wanted to take the time to bring awareness to this situation and, telling parents, please be on the lookout. If you see something suspicious, report it immediately. Don't hesitate. Don't wait. Don't think it's nothing. So just wanted to bring awareness to that.
That's wild because I was literally thinking of weapons as you was breaking that down. So I saw it a week ago, and I'll speak on it later on in the episode. And I'm trying to remember there was another movie that was similar to those tactics of what you were saying, and then come to find out like the kidnapper was like across the street the whole time or something like that.
Prisoners.
Is that what okay, I was like, yeah, that was super good.
Prisoners. Yeah.
Breaking that down, that's what it reminded me of too. That's just super scary, man. And for that to happen within, like you said, 2.5 months, man, something gotta happen because that's scary.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is just like, it's sad. Like, I mean, like I said before, this is the first time I'm hearing about it, so it's kind of catching me a little by surprise, but I'm not surprised in a sense because we've had these things going on before and they never seem to really be addressed. And I guess I want more of a solution and I don't know how we can fix it. But it's just sad, man. Anything that has to do with kids and just the weirdos out there who want to like harm them, kidnap them, and things like that. You just I don't know. It's just weird, bro. It's just weird, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely not a easy topic to discuss. But again, for the people that view our show, we thank everybody for viewing, but also the show is about bringing awareness, right, to things that everybody may not be aware of, right? We like to talk about the things that everybody may not be talking about. And so, this is definitely something that should be the spotlight should be on right now because, children missing, period, is just not good. Good, not okay. People, as we transition to HL News, all right, HL News. All right, and first up, all right, our new topic, Black politics. Okay, so we talk about politics and how it is ultimately affecting Black people. As it does pretty much every day, right? In every facet of our lives, right? And there has been, everybody's, aware of what's happening in DC with Donald Trump. All right, he comes out and drops the executive order, pretty much making homelessness a crime. Now, for those of y'all who do not recall history, okay. After the Civil War, and the Emancipation Proclamation, which is why we celebrate Juneteenth, Black people were supposedly freed from slavery. But then they created a law that stated that homelessness or loitering or hoboing, okay, was deemed illegal. Okay. Now, after slavery, during slavery rather, did they allow Black people to read and write? We couldn't read and write. No. Were we allowed to pretty much own land? No. Couldn't own land, couldn't own a home, right? No. So what? I don't know. What would the result be of that? Homelessness, right? Not being able to have anywhere to go. So in the sense, you're targeting Black people again, but this time you're going to imprison them. Okay. So lock them up, but then you're also going to make them do free labor. Work on the chain gangs, work on the cotton fields again, right? And pretty much what they're doing in today's society, right? A lot of prisons, make products like Victoria's Secret, for y'all didn't know, all right? Prisoners make lingerie. All right, that is the thing, all right? It's basically free labor, all right? This is happening right now. But they also, again, they've made homelessness the issue before. And now, again, Donald Trump is trying to make it illegal, all right? They're saying you just have to get off the streets. And if you don't get off the streets and go to a homeless shelter or a place that they are recommending that you go, you could be locked up. But this is also part of Trump's plan to ultimately take over DC and create District 13. And for those of you who don't know what District 13 is, Hunger Games, okay? All right, they had the 12 districts surrounding the one district in the middle. All right, now, obviously, how this country is set up, DC cannot be in the middle, but DC is the middle of politics. It is the middle of world politics, if you will. So ultimately, that is their thinking. That is what they want, right? And now they have FBI, they have DEA, they have ICE, pretty much, and National Guard, pretty much just sitting on every street corner, monitoring people's activity right now. That's literally what's happening. You see videos, it's literally, they're standing in front of Union Station in armored trucks for no reason. Union Station is the hub for the trains, right? Mm-hmm. Like Amtrak comes through there, the Metro comes, like, that's literally what it is. Like, what is the threat there, right? Other than just trying to find people and trying to arrest people. Just literally, that's what they're doing right now. They're just trying to round up people right now. It's literally all that they're doing, okay? So you got that going on again, and also the Civil War, that was an example. Also, this guy, I know y'all know who this motherfucker is, okay? He also deemed homelessness illegal. It was, I think, around 1937, around that time, and what ensued after that? Holocaust, and then World War II, okay? So say all that to say, we have seen this story before. I think it's time for us to start waking up. It's been time for us to start waking up, but definitely it's been blatant, and I'm just trying to figure out when are people going to start getting the message, right? This isn't a game anymore. This man is literally talking about starting a war just so he can remain the president in 2028. Now, for people who are uneducated and who don't know, he can legally do that. Okay, he can start if a war breaks out while a president is active. That president can remain the president even through an election year while that war is continuing, because technically he is the commander in chief. They know all of this stuff. Now, all of this stuff has been, it's in the Constitution, it's there, but if you don't know, like, people are like, oh, how can he do this? It's there. A lot of this stuff is there. A lot of these loopholes are there. And they are literally taking advantage of it right now. This has been their plan from the start, but fellas, just, what do y'all think about what's happening in DC? Obviously, this is happening across the country, but just what's happening in DC, and especially with the sense that history is definitely repeating itself right now.
Yeah, I think it is what you're saying. History is repeating itself. You know, you go from slavery and how you mapped it all out. It is that. I mean, history has a tendency to repeat itself with everything, and it's just we choose to ignore it. That's the sad part. It can be right there in front of us, but we choose to ignore it, or maybe not want to see it and acknowledge it for our own security and safety, because it's hard to accept that you live in a world that can be what you didn't think it was. Like, it's not what you've imagined it. And seeing how Trump's moving and the similarities in the same playbook with everything, it's just like we said, talk is not enough, and it has to be some kind of policy or action pushback. And I'm of a person, I don't know what it all looks like, until we get out there and what midterm I think it is we're getting ready for.
Next year. Mm-hmm.
And it's like it's just a lot of action that needs to take place, and you would think the little events that are happening will get more attention, but I think the distractions are getting louder than the paying attention to the events, especially as we all know it goes on. So it's just sad, but this is history. It's going to continue to repeat itself. It's just at this point in time, you need to know what side of history you're choosing to be.
Yeah, well said, fam. And all I know is my lady and her family better be protected, because she's actually going out there on Sunday for a week. So it's like, and that's been planned. So it's like, for this to come on, it's like, man, I'm so concerned about that alone. And I wanted to touch on the homelessness, man, because it's big down here. Like right up the street from me, downtown. Like I've been witnessing it to where these homes ain't even enough, to where that's how they're just everywhere, like under all these bridges, on the side of the street, just blatant in front of businesses and all that. And if it starts hitting down like that down here, it's gonna be very impactful in the wrong way, because that's a big problem down here. And it's like he's just, like I said, just history repeating itself with the whole 2028 thing. A friend of mine brought that up, and I'm like, man, knowing like how he's been moving, I wouldn't put that past him. So it's just one thing after another, and y'all not slick either. Release the Epstein files too. Y'all keep
Thank you. All right, all of this is a big effing distraction. You are exactly right, man. Like, all of this is a big distraction, man. And the homeless thing, like, it's been a thing, unfortunately, right? Like, this is a park. This is Farragut Park in DC. I used to pass this all the time, and it literally will look just like this all the time, and it's unfortunate. But this is what you do, especially when you gentrify a city, right? And we have a black mayor in DC. We have a black mayor in Baltimore, and a lot of them have come out to speak out. There's the mayor in Baltimore, Mayor Scott. There's Mayor Browser for DC, Adams for New York, right? The brother from Chicago who said, "Hey, Trump can try that shit up here, but we ain't taking that shit up here in Chicago." Like he called Trump an idiot, right? Like I forget what else he used, but you have the black mayors, of course, speaking out, right? And I hope that and I've been critical of our mayor here in Baltimore, only because yes, violence has decreased, sure, especially within the black community. But people just love to, the mayor or the governor got violence down or this or that. Give the people more credit, okay? People have to stop killing people. People have to stop robbing people. People have to stop hurting people. So, they may put some things in place to help that, but the people honestly have to stop doing that. And also, another known fact that is interesting. The reason all of this sparked up in DC was because a group of black men or men, they were covered up. But I think you could tell some of them that like certain parts of them wasn't covered up. So you could tell they were black dudes, unfortunately. But assaulted a white guy in DC. And so that video came out, and then that's what made Trump go, "Oh, we got to shut down DC," and that sparked the whole thing. Do you understand how many cities that happens in, for one? And do you also understand that the most violent states are in the South, Mississippi, Oklahoma, Texas. I want to say, is it Tennessee? I believe, because of Memphis. Like those are very conservative, unfortunately, states as well, right? So it's just interesting that you want to set up shop here in DC and say DC, is filled with crime and it's basically Gotham City and we need to turn this around. Yet again, people who voted for you come from the most violent states and cities and areas. Yeah, you don't want to put National Guard in Mississippi. You don't want to put National Guard in Alabama. You don't want to put it in Texas. It's just interesting. It's just interesting. But we all know what's happening here, people. It's just his line to ultimately become a dictator, which is really what he wants to do. But shout out to those black mayors, again, who are fighting back against these conservatives out here, these fraudulent people who black conservatives are listening to. Now, speaking of black conservatives, right? These individuals here. Look at all of them, just with the hats on, just happy and excited. Oh, we get to see Trump. The Make America. They got it in red, white. Lord have mercy. Amanda Seales, all right, great Amanda Seales. She has been a strong advocate for Gaza and just black people in this country. And she did a special where she debated or spoke to or tried to put them on game and educate 20 black conservatives. A lot of them were young. A lot of them, they come from areas where there are not, unfortunately, a lot of black people. They haven't had to deal with certain obstacles, in inner city obstacles or this or that, it was a clear debate. Again, like I said, she was really educating them on a lot of things because they would say things and then she would fact check them like, no, that's not true, or, et cetera, et cetera. But I did a video real quick. I did a video and broke down how you get black conservatives. Okay. One way, obviously, or the main way, right, is inherently, all right. So again, as I stated in my video, like y'all remember the movie Django, the guy Samuel Jackson played, I forgot the guy's name. I can't stand that movie. I can't stand how Quentin Tarantino constantly gets away with you writing the word nigga. He writes his movies, by the way. So he wrote nigga, 1,000 times. If you watch that movie, they say it 1,000 times. Okay, now I get it. It's slavery time, and that's what they were saying. And you want to be brutally honest, but it's always just interesting to me. And there's movies where him and Scorsese, they get away with that. Nigga, it's not even necessary in a scene, and they write it. They write these scripts, by the way, people. But anyway, so the character that Samuel Jackson plays, he was pretty much like the behind-the-scenes guy to Leonardo DiCaprio, slave master, but he was the main one running the show. And yes, and historically, that's how it was on some plantations. Black people were smarter than these white slave owners. White slave owners just, knew how to read and write or knew how to, they owned the land, whatever. But black people, there were black people in the household, especially black men, who were actually running these plantations and running the slaves, unfortunately. And so inherently, that is in a lot of people's DNA. It's in their blood. People like that had children and passed those genes down and so on and so forth and so forth. A lot of these kids, their great-great-great-grandfathers are Samuel Jackson in that movie, right? And there's other ways. But so I guess what I'm trying to say is how, for the black conservatives out there, right? How does the being a conservative, the Republican Party, how does that suit us? How does any party right now suit us? Right? I don't understand it. I don't get it that people are so blind to the truth when it's staring them right in the face. People are constantly, and I'm sorry for ranting, y'all, but people are constantly going against this right here. This is you can't remove this as much as as much as people like these three want to do that so bad, you can't remove it. It's there. It's part of you. And I know it. Why do you hate it? Like, I don't understand what is happening right now. This is a scary fucking time where, like, black people especially, really hate the skin that they are in, really hate where they come from, really hate their mothers, really hate their fathers. I also stated that, you get this because of that, right? Especially with black men. There were a lot of black men who simply did not vote for Kamala because they hate their moms, because they hate the women that they're with, because they were rejected by black women. Do y'all understand? Like that's selfish. That's cowardly, right? Because again, at the end of the day, what matters is our race. Is continue. Do y'all feel me on that? I know I'm ranting right now, but I'm just trying to understand, like, and I commend Amanda Seales for talking to them, but I just literally watched it and felt like it partly felt like she was kind of wasting her time with these fools because they, because it's like you're talking to a brick wall. I don't know if y'all saw it, but how do y'all feel about that right now? Like, how can black people be conservative? How can you be Republican right now? I'm not following.
I haven't saw Amanda Seales. I watched the Candace Owens one, and I watched Jubilees and those videos like that. So I'm used to seeing the one person with this one and then going here. And I always find them interesting. I saw the clips of some of the Amanda Seales one. Particularly, I thought it was disheartening to see it was a young brother from Angola trying to talk about how Black Americans shouldn't get reparations. And I think I like how she handled that, because she was just like, you shouldn't even be chiming in on these issues. And it's like, so I just think, I don't, as far as Black conservatives, I think that, like, I just think the Conservative Party, especially in general, should probably reevaluate. Like, I'm gonna continue to say about party change and name change, because there are so many conservatives who don't support Trump that still get looped in, and they have yet to pivot to try to figure out anything out, and vice versa. The Trumpers, I mean, maybe change them for conservatives to just be Trumpers, but those particular Black conservatives, just like I look at a lot of liberal people too, I just see it as this tradition. Some see it like their policies as their tradition. Some see it as their rebellion, you may say. But the bigger question that I would present to both is, outside of their optics, is what policies are really getting in return? Are you really getting in return? And I think that is where it's that. And as far as to the point, I would say Black people, I think it is. That's what the beauty of Black people is, that we're not, I'm not going to try to say the word, but I've heard, I think it was monolithic maybe, or something like that. I'll have to go back and look it up. But we're not just one in the sense of where we all think and feel the same. And I think our Black being, the term Black is different from everyone. And we look at it. And I think also too, there's a gift and a curse with that. There's a brainwashing piece that some of us may look at and see that, but some truly don't look at it like that. And it's like, it's like, and it's like, to me, it can feel like disheartening, but some people, that is truly how they believe, and they look at it like that. I think the overall problem, outside of the things that are problems for Black Americans, but particularly Black people, I think the overall problem is that we don't try to see the other side. And that's not just a liberal talking to a conservative and vice versa. I think as human beings, we've gotten past that. You don't line up here with me politically. You don't line up with me here. I don't want nothing to do with you. And I don't think we'll ever get to the seat of it, because when you say race has been so weaponized now to, like, Rock, you said this statement, you was like, our race should be important. For some people, they don't believe that. Like, and and then here's another part of it. Like, there's other races, if they do it, it's like so many levels to it that I personally think the only fix of it is till we put each other first. Let's go back to the main first thing, the most unknown, the most known unknown. It was talking about missing children. we can't even get on the same page. We all say that we don't like pedophiles or we don't like people who hurt children. We can agree on that, but then we don't go, you know what I'm saying? Then we don't go like just focus.
Who's our president?
Yeah, you know. But we get that it's still a part of like the distraction because people will vote it in because at the end of the day, it's like we don't want to listen or find that common ground. And that's why I like those. I don't know if Amanda Seales particularly did Drupally, but there's another one, Common Ground, where they at least try to make people reach that point. And sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But our problem will always be and I've said this before in the show, and I'll say it again. The one thing that should unite us is our diversity, but it's also the one thing that will continue to separate us is our diversity, because we truly will never see that. Because reality is, we'll never really sit across the room for somebody who doesn't believe what we believe or support how we support, because we're always going to naturally think in the back of our mind, you know, you're out to get me. And I'll end with this. I saw, and I've said it before, I've seen this video, and I need to find it. I'll put it on our Instagram. But it was this guy, it's a white guy who goes to the middle of America, and he has a Black Lives Matter sign, and he'll go talk to these rural areas. And one of my favorite parts of his clip, it was this white man who supported Trump. He was the only person who stopped his car to go talk to him. And the white guy was shocked. He said, "Why are you talking to me?" And the white guy who supported Trump said to him, he said, "Because bro," he said, "if we don't start talking and talking about our differences, how do we ever get better?" And he said, "I believe in Donald Trump, and this is why." And I think we'll never get on there because we see what we want to see. And I think that's why I say, and I'll end with this evil, condescending thing: destroy the world, burn it all down, because none of us deserve this shit. Because all of us, to our core, are not good people.
Say, damn, I should have went first. I was like, you gotta end it like that. But I echo what Des said, because I'm real big on that. Like, there is right or wrong, but I'm really, really big on understanding. Like, why did you do that? How did you do this, that, and the third? And then I go on from there. But people, like what Des said, people don't even want to get it to that level to where they can't even manage to have some kind of small talk, And I think it just starts with that. If it's more of an understanding to see how it goes and goes from there, then we can see what's up. But for something so minute that people can't even do that, it's like, just like it was the comparison you made, like, yeah, there's children missing, but it's like you're not even taking an action to where that can even stop. You just talking. And as far as Amanda Seales, that's why I felt like with her too, I felt like she was going against 20 individuals just to be going against them. I felt like she was definitely wasting her time. I saw bits and pieces. I couldn't manage myself to sit and watch that, because I just had a feeling how it was gonna, rub me the wrong way or what have you. And it was just like, man. And it's just like, it makes me question, like, how do you get to that level, fam? Outside of everything both of y'all just broke down, like, it mind boggles me.
Yeah, I mean, Des, I totally agree with you, right? I mean, we all have differences, right? We don't always agree on this show, right? We got Kendrick and Drake, Kobe and LeBron, right? All these different differences, but we can respect each other's opinion, listen to it, and move forward, right? But here's why I push back. We are dealing with, we all know the history. At minimum, if you don't know nothing, at minimum, you know slavery, you know civil rights, you know Jim Crow, where we were a oppressed people, and we still are. But during those times especially, we were a extremely oppressed group of people, where, we weren't allowed basically, human rights. And I understand that some Black people didn't have to go through that as much. Shit, I went to a mixed or predominantly white high school, yet I still wasn't oblivious to what happened to my people, what happened in Black history. I actually took a Black history. It was a Black literature, African American lit, but it was actually really a Black history class in high school. You still weren't oblivious to that. And, but listening to some of these Black people talk, it's like they it's really like they're oblivious. And I know in a lot of places in America they don't teach Black history, and maybe that could be the disconnect. That they don't even know their history, because I've heard plenty of people like the rapper Paris from Oakland stated that he didn't know about Martin Luther King and Malcolm X until he got to college, right? Like, whoa, right? Like, you know, like something, the buck is missing. I don't know if that's maybe in the household, you know, why aren't their parents, if you're not gonna learn in school, at least, you know, have your parents teach it or something. I don't know. There's just a disconnect where, yeah, we all have differences, but at the same time, this isn't different. You look at us, we all the same here. Whether y'all out in Oklahoma, whether I'm out here on the East Coast, I was born out here, y'all was born in different LA, that right? Like, at the end of the day, what is the same about all of us? What is the same about all of us, right? Like, we're the same race. We're the same, you know, I don't know. It just, maybe it's just because we came up in America, I guess. In America being one of the most diverse countries and the most, you know, one of those countries where there's a lot of bad history has taken place here, especially towards Black people. It's just sad. I'll say that. I'll just end it by saying that. It's just sad that, you know, a lot of Black people in this country, they fall into the trap of greed. They fall into the trap of listening to people like a Candace Owens who, you know, their minds are very skewed because of certain things that may have happened to them in their lives and the things that they dealt with. And then people just gravitate to that.
I think that's powerful. I think it's one of those things to where it just depends what your view is of the world. Like, do we really think the world can be saved? Personally, I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either. I don't think Black people, we're too divided.
Yeah, I don't think it's just Black people. I think it's human beings. And here's why I say I give it a fist. Like, if you take off one of your fingers, it's still, the hand it'll function, but it may not be the same. And I think that's where we are at as the people, as just a human race alone. Because what we are saying about us as Black people, there is somebody who is white who is listening to his racial or her racial peers and for our family members say some stuff and like, that is not okay. And like, they're trying to fight that, but they can't combat that. And the same way that they're doing that, there is somebody over here who is seeing their own, who is Asian American or Asian, however they break that down, and they're fighting their own thing. Watching Jason Momoa's show, Tifa War, it made me, and I said this last time, it made me realize the beauty of integration, but also the problem of integration. And it's like, and it's a gift and a curse, because like at the end of the day, like, what does it look like? And I think the truth, and what I mean by that is like, what does it look like? And I think it does start with people knowing their history and wanting to truly bridge the gap. I think the first step of getting past the history is like what you're saying, getting past the differences, knowing the history, because if you don't know where you're from, you don't know where we're going to go. I do think that's important, but people grew up disconnected, and it's hard to tell a 40-year-old to 20 person who had, as a child, has made up their beliefs to what they believe. So the only way forward is education awareness, and that's why it's being attacked the way it is. And it'll never really bridge the gap, because people have made up in their mind. Those who watch this and just simply watch us in passing, they've made up in their mind where we're wrong at before hearing us, and where we're not right before hearing us. And here goes another show talking about Black issues, and that's how people simply see it, you know. And it just will never get better, because we truly cannot. Not all of us, we can't be humane to each other, and at the same time, there's a reason for that, because we live in a world that if you let your guard down, you just may be eaten by wolves. Like, you know what I'm saying? So we live in a society where we're all Red Riding Hood, or we're the wolf, or sometimes we're the wolf. And you know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's a gift and a curse. So How do we get better with it? I just think it'll never happen. I think the best way forward is fuck them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Stop talking to black conservatives. I'm the same person who just said sit at the table. If you made your mind up and you don't feel like you can bond with it, fuck it, keep moving. Because in the end, to me, when Jesus come back, we find out who right and who wrong. And you know what I'm saying? And I just think let it go. Like I that's me. I'm just like, because I'm over trying to convince people of something that they'll never get. That's why I would like my last response to Amanda Shield, I'm not trying to make this long, is like, I don't even get the point of it. Like, what are we trying to do? Because at this point, are we doing it? Did you genuinely, and not just Amanda, the same thing I would say to Candace, because I've watched all of those things. And I love those two. They're still the best ones I've seen. But outside, when I look at these Jubilees, like, they're supposed to find common ground. But do you leave better? I see one with someone talking about it was Palestinian and Israeli, and then they end up eating at the end of it. But did they really find common ground? And I'm not saying don't stop trying, but I think at some point we got to be like, fuck it. And point, you go X, I go Y, because we for years wasted more breath trying to prove somebody that water is wet than anything else. Right? Facts. So that's just my 2 cents. I do agree with you though, Rock. I just think it's just pointless to waste time.
Yeah. No, I definitely I feel you on that. And I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, I go back and forth with that. I go back and forth with, all right, fuck it. They not gonna get it. Let's just worry about the people who do. But then it's like, we need all of us. Do we not realize if we, black people all over the world, do we not realize if we united, we are the biggest population on this planet. For one, black people are everywhere. All right. But 2, like Brazil, again, that's like 3rd, I believe, in world population behind China and India. Black people. You combine all the countries, and there's 50 countries in Africa. Mostly black people. All right. And again, we're everywhere. So it's just, imagine if we could come to something. We don't always have to agree on every little specific thing, but can we agree on that we are all one race? And that again, that's what Pan-African, that's what that is about, right? You understand, like, yeah, there's differences. You might be Christian, Muslim, gay, straight, whatever. But at the same time, do you identify as black? Are you for the progression of black people? Period. Right? Like, that's what matters. And when you hear a lot of these black conservatives, it's just like they don't even get that, and that's what's frustrating to me. But
it's crazy when even just like that, because when you think about how we can be doing that, like what government is, they say power to the people, but the people will never, really truly. We all say we want power, but the reality is this. It goes back to what I said at the beginning. I think there's just so many of who says, yes, we want this, but I'd rather be asleep and act like it doesn't exist, because to realize that that's my reality lets me know that I'm truly not worth anything.
Yeah. All right, people. You already know. We got what's coming up. Oh, Gary, I need your help with this, man.
What's up?
What time is it?
Game time.
Woo! All right, so sports. ESPN. Are we boycotting ESPN? All right. For those of y'all who don't know, all right, Spike Lee was working on a documentary about Colin Kaepernick. Obviously, Colin Kaepernick, football player with San Francisco, led the team to the Super Bowl against the Baltimore Ravens. That was the Harbaugh role. That was Ray Lewis and Ed Reed's last Super Bowl run. I'm sure Gary, that's getting you hyped right now. Already know. Right. And then after that, I believe it was the next season. That's when Colin Kaepernick, the whole media and everything was on him taking the knee during the national anthem. Of course, white people went bananas. How can you take a knee? How can you protest? He explained that he was not protesting against the military, as all of them thought. He was protesting the fact that, again, how can I support a national anthem, a flag of this country, when my people within this country are being oppressed, are being treated like shit, and for decades, right? And again, so ESPN, obviously they decided to drop it. And also there's a connection with ESPN and Disney. Obviously Disney owns ESPN, and I forget the exact details, but of course the Trump administration has something to do with Disney. Disney had to pay them, something like that, like similar with Paramount. Where Paramount had to pay Donald Trump for the defamation lawsuit, and a whole bunch of stuff started getting canceled because of that. That was actually going to come out against Trump, against Republican Party, MAGA, etc. But even with like UFC, right? I've been stopped watching. I used to love UFC. I had to stop watching that because literally Dana White, all of them, Joe Rogan, they are a part of UFC. A lot of UFC fighters also support that. Target, now we're starting to see, we just heard that the CEO of Target has decided to step down. Mm-hmm. So does boycotts, are they working? Do they work? Do y'all believe that they are working, doing some type of damage? Do you believe that ESPN deserves a boycott because of this? Because I believe you can do 30 for 30s about everything that they did. One on Marion Jones, they did one on Lance Armstrong. Michael Vick had one, right? All these controversial figures in a sense. But yet, Colin Kaepernick, we're going to drop that one. ESPN, of all people, like normally, they're the ones promoting those type of stories, right? I forget this segment, Outside the Lines, was a program that used to promote these type of stories, right? So it's just interesting now that they're moving in this type of direction. So how do y'all feel about what's happening with ESPN and this Colin Kaepernick story with Spike Lee, and also again boycotting? Do y'all feel like we should be doing it more, especially if our views don't align with whatever company and whatever they're pushing?
Man, Colin Kaepernick might have to pull a Sincere and Belly and just move to Africa, fam. He might be blackballed from just like everything. Like, he's been fighting this fight for a minute, and they are making an example out of him no matter what. And I'm not surprised that move was pulled because of who owns what. It's just, man, Colin Kaepernick can't catch a break. And I was watching this interview a couple of hours before we hopped on Hot 97, and he didn't really, Spike Lee, he didn't really speak on it much, but it was just like, as far as Colin Kaepernick, I feel like he just can't take a break for the sacrifice he made to bring awareness and attention to what's going on with, like, still right now in real time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Man, I don't want no Colin Kaepernick documentary, man. I don't care. I ain't gonna hold you. Like, I ain't missing that. Like, it is not that I'm not with Cap. Like, I've been with Cap. I'm calling Cap. Like, at this point, like, because it's just like, bro, like Ava DuVernay. How much I say that?
Ava DuVernay. Yeah,
right. She did an amazing job with that one. Like, why are we doing another one? Is like, it goes back to what we just talked about. Is it going to change people's minds? And here's the thing: do you not do it like the argument against my point because people may or may not watch, right? But like, what is changing at this point now? Like, and like, bro, Colin Kaepernick pop up. He like, who is that? Like, he pop up every like 3 years. We hear some Colin Kaepernick. I'm so tired of hearing about Cap, and it's not that like I don't support. It's just like
right.
It's just like beating a dead horse. It's like, yo, either you go. I wish I can have my analogy right now to compare it to, but it's just kind of like, oh, Winston ain't coming back. You know what? I'm gonna say it as a Laker fan. It's where I'm at with LeBron, and we're gonna segue to that eventually. Retire or stay. I don't care. I don't got time for the games. If you're staying, stay. If you're going, you're going. I don't give a dang, and that's how I feel.
Right.
Colin Kaepernick wants to play football again. Y'all don't want him to play football. Stop putting these stories out.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Like, it's just like, stop. I'm not saying, and then plus two, like, move it somewhere else. You go back to Netflix and do it again. People still watch Netflix. You have other opportunities. ESPN ain't gonna do it, and the reason none of this is happening, because it's happening the way I expected. We're going to be more conservative because we have a conservative seat president. They're gonna move everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Personally, some of the shit needs to be, because motherfuckers was getting too wild with some shit. Like, some of the shit needs to be removed. I know motherfuckers don't want to talk about it, but I'm gonna say it. Some of the shit that we was putting out needs to be removed. The Colin Kaepernick documentary, I don't think that's one. But it's at the same time, it's like we need to recognize the room and know when to pivot and how to pivot and be more strategic. And I don't think we've done that yet. We keep going, hey, using the old format. Motherfuckers don't care. Like, they already let this dude up in office. He not gonna do nothing for you. They're not gonna allow them. Joe Rogan, ESPN, all these motherfuckers, Stephen A. showing them color now. Let Trump do a third term or try to go get it one, and then now that opens up for Obama to run. Let him run. Obama get in office, and then motherfuckers gonna act like they loved Obama again after they were saying all like it's just a shit show. And I think it's like what I love about it though, it lets you to see who people really truly are. So overall, I don't want to call it Kaepernick documentary because there's too much with that. Wasn't his lady just talking about Jay-Z and some shit like that? Like, we got our own house and our own shit to clean up before we give a platform. Colin Kaepernick got a movie, he got a documentary, and if motherfuckers ain't watched that shit by now, they ain't gonna watch this shit. So I don't want one. I appreciate that brother for what he did. I appreciate the eyes that he opened up. But it ain't stopped nothing because Fantasy League's still going. I signed up. And there's a bunch of other people who signed up to watch football too. So at the end of the day, to the overall boycott thing, I think boycotts work when they're strategic and they can have some impact. But at the end of the day, it's like no, because people are truly not doing it. We're just following a trend. There's no real result. And I'm always going to use Target. I know they're talking about the CEO stepping down, but it's like, good. But what about the other fucking businesses out there? Like, once again, like, we've not pivoted to nothing else. Target, we got this. I don't give a fuck about Target. Like, what about X, Y, and Z? What's the name is still moving, still doing this. We boycotted Target that hard, but you couldn't go boycott to go get Gary the information for the Epstein info. That's what the shit I'm talking about. We are like misguided with the energy we send out. That's why I just don't fuck with it no more. And I'm saying all this to end. I don't even know a response how to fix it, people. I'm just over the shit.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I totally understand. And that wasn't to say I'm about to start boycotting ESPN. Because I mean, yeah, there's certain things.
No, Philly coming. He ready for Philly. He ain't boycotting shit.
Well, here's the thing. Here's how I think a lot of people are looking at boycotting and protesting. Is okay. They start when Colin Kaepernick. When does it stop? Right? Like, okay, you know what I mean? Like, okay, you shut down Spike Lee and Colin Kaepernick. Okay, then all of a sudden you shut down Ava DuVernay, and she wants to do a documentary on somebody, controversial or whatever the case may be, right? Where does it stop? But to your point, there are other platforms now, digitally especially. You could take that to Tubi. You could take it to Netflix. You could take it. Spike Lee just did the highest and lowest. Apple just got that. Take it back to Apple, right? So there are other platforms where HBO does a lot of controversial documentaries. They got one actually on Black missing children right now, for the women that are looking for these missing children. So there are plenty of platforms that you can take it. I just look at it like, again, it's just when does it stop? But at the same time, these companies are so powerful now, and they have a grasp on us, right? Like, hey, if we want to watch this show, we have to watch it on this platform. You know what I mean? Or if we want to watch this movie, we have to watch it on this platform. So they have a grasp on us now where, it would be hard to boycott ESPN. Now, like what happened with Target, it wasn't hard because people could go to a Walmart and get the same shit, or they could go over here, Ross or Kmart. Kmart still, you know what I mean? Like with streaming in that aspect, it's very hard. You can not watch something, but if it's something that you really want to watch, like Chief of War, if that's what you really want to watch, you gotta go download. What is it on Apple? You gotta go download. You gotta go watch it there. And ESPN is the main entity for sports entertainment. other than Fox, really. I mean, those are the only two at this point. Like YouTube has live events, but not promoting sports and the shows and the talk, the talk radio and all of that ESPN does. So, again, I'm not saying you have to boycott. I'm just saying, just bringing up the question: will people start boycotting? Because again, starts with Colin Kaepernick. Where does it end? Right? Like, all right, again, if they want to do another controversial piece on a sports figure, ESPN not going to do that too, and they very well could say no, we don't want to do it. And so then we have to go, okay, we're not going to get a seat at the table here. We need to take it elsewhere.
One thing y'all said, I can't. Y'all was saying the show earlier. What was it, Outside the Lines y'all was talking about? There's a reason like those shows are canceled, and I would say a lot of this stuff won't end until January 20th of 2029 at noon. And if you don't know that day, that's the day old buddy out of office. January 20th, 2029. That's when a lot of this stuff will stop. Some, not all, because we'll just go back behind the scenes and stuff.
Oh so like, we got literally 4.
Yeah, this is year 1. That's why I just let it roll, because it's only going to get. I am not scared until that third term he tries to do that. Like, I'm not worried.
But here's the thing, that he's planting the seeds now.
He is.
That's the thing.
He is. So I'm just letting it, and that's when I'm gonna be like, but that's when I'm gonna see how people react. Because like I said, the biggest thing, and we have to keep looking at people like this, it is people who truly just want. I don't want to think that's what that is. Like, I don't want to like. It's Lot's wife in the Bible. Literally was told, "Don't look back. You'll turn into stone." The bitch looked at him. like
very true.
Nosy.
Very true. People, about to get into the mixer with DJ No Name. You got for us, Gary?
Man, separating the art from the artist. How far does it go? Because the past couple of weeks, including the initial episode we had to kick off the season, I've been seeing, ladies being excited, going to see Chris Breezy. And it's been really throwing me off, and what's been really messing me up is that these individuals have daughters, and then the daughters be at these shows too. So for one, I separate the art from the artist until that person takes it to the extreme, and I just leave it alone. So with you two, how do y'all maneuver when it comes to things like this, when it comes to Puff, when it comes to R. Kelly, when it comes to Trey Songz? Like, how do y'all move when it comes? Because I feel like R. Kelly, people accepting R. Kelly back, like, sprinkles here and there too. So I was like, how does that work when it comes to y'all and what y'all consume?
That's you, Rob. You can take that one.
Yeah, real quick. I'm gonna make this short and simple. There's a double standard. There definitely is a double standard out here. Because I've seen like middle-aged black women just go crazy for R. Kelly, at his time. Like, you see the clips and they just be going crazy. It's like, but I was talking, I think, with my mom about this. With people who unfortunately, do those type of things that are R. Kelly or Trey Songz, or, they've either seen that, it's happened to them, unfortunately. And so you have to understand that too. These people are traumatized. These people have been, are victims too, and not to excuse their behavior.
Right.
But we have to also. I'd like to be the person that what's the root, right? And so I think we have to fix the root of the problem, especially in the black community, especially with our black men, who are, without fathers in the household. They moms, got to struggle and work this and do that. And then you go to school, you're not really learning nothing. we have to fix, educating our children for one, keeping them away from harm, because that's where it starts. That's where it started for the Chris Browns and the Trey Songz and the R. Kellys and whoever else. It started, with them as children. R. Kelly was abused himself, right? Chris Brown, I think, saw his mom being abused, right? So like these things are very traumatic for them, and I can't speak to the psyche. All I know is that I would imagine that definitely does something to people, to where they react or lash out based on what they've seen and what they know. I've dealt with plenty of people who are like that, where if they've seen certain things, that's how they respond to certain things, right? And that's how they react to certain things. But it's hard because those guys make incredible music. So I try to separate it. I'll still play those songs if they come on. Sometimes I'm not let me play a Trey Songz playlist or let me play art. But if the song comes on shuffle and I like the song, I might play it. Same thing with P. Diddy. I mean, my favorite MC of all time is Biggie. Puffy is on a lot of them songs. You know what I mean? So it's hard not to listen to a Biggie song and not have Puff in the background or something. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely, but my thing is, yeah, there's definitely. Go ahead, Des. Go ahead, Des. I'm gonna circle back.
No, you're good. I vibe with what you were saying, bro. For real, I'll use myself as first as an artist and a creative. I'm big on accountability. Gary is not somebody who's like a friend or brother. He's also my manager, and not to put our process out. Well, me and Gary, we sat and interviewed Gary, I didn't just interview. I grilled Gary hardcore because my name is attached to that. The only thing that I didn't do with Gary that I normally would have did, I would probably ran a background check. The only reason being is because just to get that, because I want to know who I'm working with. Right. And because my name is that, and it's the same thing. And when I moved, Gary, and both of y'all too, as y'all know me, but Gary, I would say using that, he's heard me say things as an artist, as an individual person, that people as an artist wouldn't expect me to talk about.
Yeah, for sure.
Yo, Devontae, he and people like, oh, he don't talk, and he's like, yeah, he do. He'll talk about it if you ask him, but I'm just private on certain things. Right. Now, as far as what does that have to do with the art, I'm accountable with my shit. I don't it's even beyond here. I tell Rock all the time, I probably wouldn't say it like that because for me, I know corporate wise, I know I have to watch certain things for me. But Devontae off his tongue, I'm loosey goosey with what I say. But I know in a space like this, I always have to be mindful because of younger people watching me. And it's this. I'm always going to be on shit to say what I got to say, but I know there's a level of responsibility I carry. Now, some of these artists, they don't look at shit like that. They want to just go do what they do. I know the level of responsibility as a black man that I carry, as a black dad that I carry, as y'all's homie, y'all friend that I fucking carry. And I take that shit seriously, so I try to hold myself accountable. I don't hold Gary accountable the way I'm going to hold myself. Now, with that being said, I don't separate the two. I accept them for who they are, but that doesn't mean I'm going to listen to you all the time. If you come on, I'll be like, oh, that's cool. I think Chris Brown should be hated for everything he does. No. But at the same time, every decision leads up to why you keep making these decisions. It goes back to Kendrick and Drake at that. If Kendrick abused his wife, I'm not going to stop listening to a Kendrick. Will it change the way I look at him? No. It's not going to change the way because that's what people... I'm not gonna say that's what it is, but that's what these personal shit that people have going on. This shit is just weirdo shit. I'm not surprised at what motherfuckers weirdos be doing anymore. Yeah, that's where I'm at because I've expected Hollywood is weird a long time ago. So these people I've made, I'm not gonna put an artist out, but Gary, back in the day, I would open up for a lot of people and it was just individually me. And I met some of my goats, and I realized when I've met some of my goats, they're not my goats anymore. They're assholes. And
they say don't meet your heroes, right?
Yeah, that's what they say. So I think my thing is what is your level of I can't accept that. I don't accept people putting their hands on women, and I don't accept people touching children. Do I look at Chris Brown differently? Nah, not always. I hate that he gets brought up, but I also look at him like I see somebody who's trying to take care of his daughter, but I think there's more nuances. And I don't like to get caught up in Hollywood shit, but with Diddy though, like Diddy it just was a lot with that. And I don't even like to comment on that shit because I don't know everything. I'm only on the outside knowing, but right. It's like Drake when he got called a PDF. I gotta watch saying it on YouTube or I heard some promo. I realized that, but like, you know, like, so I get why that would be upsetting if that's not who you are. You know what I'm saying? But in the rap battle, it is what it is. So what does this have to do with separating? I ultimately would end with this. I think for me, accountability is key. I can acknowledge somebody's creativity and greatness. I don't separate from who they are. I just accept the whole picture and the art and actions, and I hold them accountable to that. And I can still love somebody's music because there's a lot of artists I listen to. I don't like how they political views. I don't like their
that's true. Yeah,
their stuff that they do. And at the same time, we don't do this a lot too. We do it in our community because being black comes with a standard. That's why I love being black, and I wish I wasn't born. Like I'm glad I wasn't born anything else. But other people don't hold themselves to a standard. That's why we don't talk about Elvis, how we should be talking about Elvis. That's why we don't talk about, that's why we can say cancel Cosby, but we can talk about a Seven Heaven reboot when Seven Heaven shouldn't be rebooted. That's why we can talk about, you know, so ultimately, I like, and I'm going to use Cosby for that because Cosby Show is one of my favorite shows. Very disappointed in those actions. I don't care if that was the time period, if that's what that was going on. That's weirdo shit. I know some dudes who, they're not my friends, but they've made stuff like that. And there's a reason Devontae stays in the house and don't hang out with people. Because you got one time with me to show me weirdo behavior. Me and my wife works good. Like, I don't get down like that. I'm very respectful. I'm mindful of what I say. But some of these motherfuckers is weird. And I don't fuck with Cosby for that. But that has nothing to fucking do with the Cosby Show. That has nothing to do with the fucking impact of it. Martin Lawrence was out doing shit too on drugs. And you know what I'm saying? And like, I'm a side because I don't know all the history, but ultimately don't separate, accept them for who they are, but choose what you want to allow in your life. That's
yeah.
And real quick, Gary, I know this is your segment, but I want to bring up.
There you go.
Oh, you getting this? I didn't know we was doing it this way. I skipped this part.
Because you know, there is. What's the difference between what Chris Brown did to Rihanna compared to what Sha'Carri Richardson did to her boyfriend? What's the difference? Now, Sha'Carri Richardson, she ain't on blast like Chris Brown. Ain't nobody saying, "Oh, we not about to go support her at the Olympics in 2028," or "She can't run now," or you know what I mean? Like how they did they shut Chris Brown down. I mean, it took him a couple of years.
Yeah, it took him a couple of years
to build his reputation back. Now he's a talented dude, handsome guy. Women gravitate towards him. So that's just, you know, it is what it is. But at the same time, you know, especially for the women out there, I'm curious, you know, why we not hearing more about Sha'Carri Richardson and what she did to her women, black women especially who have black men. Is that okay? Y'all would want us to speak up about black men and what Chris Brown did, and we will, right? We'll say that's not okay what them niggas did, right? That is not all right. Black women, we also need to hear from y'all and say, hey, what Sha'Carri Richardson did was not okay to a fellow black man. Because why are we still out here attacking each other? It's not okay. Now, granted, you know, you want to say, all right, history speaks to the fact that black men domestically abuse black women. We get that, but that still doesn't mean that black women haven't domestically abused black men throughout history. And again, we got a glimpse of that, unfortunately, on tape with a prominent athlete, a gold medalist. And this is not to shut down Sha'Carri Richardson. What I'm saying is, what's the difference? And again, black women, we're not hearing from you how y'all want us to speak up about these black men who are doing wrong. we also want to hear and hear y'all speak up about these black women that are also doing the Candace Owens are black women. Are y'all do y'all hear what she says? And I don't hear hardly any black women coming out against her. Why? Because she's a sister, and so it's acceptable, and she's been oppressed, and black women have been. We get it. We know the story. Well, right is right and wrong is wrong. Either way you look at it. Y'all want us to constantly speak up about black men doing wrong again, which we have no problem doing, especially us three. We are with black women. Sure. We come from black women, so we know what's up. Mm-hmm. We will speak out. But we also need that from y'all, black women, especially when y'all see another black woman doing wrong. That is a double standard. My bad, Gary, but I had to.
Nah, you good, because that was the confirmation that I needed. Because remember, I stated on the last episode I had to hold off on it, so I wanted to go back into it, like dive deeper. And then during that period, like I heard about the woman that came out and started defending Puff. And then that's why I said I started like homies looking forward to going to Chris Brown's concert. And then when these initial things come to mind, I was like, yo, how does that work? Like, how does that? Because like I said, I separate the art from the artist. It's just when it take it to a certain extreme, it might fizzle out. But other than that, it's like how does that work?
We're seeing right now, if people like you, it doesn't matter what you do, they'll accept it, right? It's a basic standard. A woman, if who do women love right now? Michael B, right? Or Aaron Pierre, right? Those guys, right? Like they're attractive men, whatever, handsome men, whatever. And let's say they did what R. Kelly did or what Chris Brown did, right? Women would be like, the woman's lying. I don't know about that, man. Michael, I couldn't see them doing, you know what I mean? Like they will literally make those excuses because of these, how the men look or because they simply like those individuals. But if motherfucker ugly, or if we talking Flavor Flav did that, no offense Flavor Flav, but I'm just saying, right? Like if Flavor Flav did, oh no, lock him up. Yeah, I ain't never liked him no way. He always looked weird. He always looked crazy. I remember he was doing that back in the 90s. There is too much of a right is right, wrong is wrong, regardless. So again, if these motherfuckers are doing wrong, you still have a right to listen to their music. I can somewhat separate it. Because again, I look at the totality of what people have been through, period. Right? I don't just look like, again, even with Diddy, this man's father was murdered at age 3. This man grew up without a father. Right? He literally had to survive in the streets with his mom. Who knows what shit they had to go through and what they saw and what they, you know what I mean? And again, that's not to excuse Diddy's behavior. Right. But at the same time, it's just like, that fucks people up. That makes people desperate. That makes people do things that they wouldn't normally want to do just so that they can not go back to that. A lot of these motherfuckers are running. They're running from shit. They're running from their past. And it's just sad and it's unfortunate. But there is definitely a double standard. And we want to hear from black women, especially when black women are just how y'all want to hear from us. When black men do wrong, y'all wanted to hear from us. When y'all saw the Diddy Cassidy video and black men spoke up, okay, well now we see the Sha'Carri Richardson video. What's up, black women? Yeah. And there's no disrespect. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think that was that's a good one. I think it's a tough one. I do think I saw that on Breakfast Club, and I think Charlamagne mentioned that too, where he was talking about like, yeah, it should be more of an outroar with it. But I do think like, and you touched on it a little bit. It's going to sound like an excuse, but it's really not. What I'm saying, like, I think it's because we say in our household all the time, what happens is that you see we're in a day and age where those who were bullied so long, when they get in a position of power, become the bully, you know?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And so I think a lot of times it's because the suffering and abuse that a lot of women have to put up with, that it's always been overlooked when men get abused. And men don't talk about when they get abused. That's why I personally thought that brother handled that situation, from what we know, the right way. And because I try not to always find that there's more into it and people's stuff. But I do think it is somewhat of a double standard. I don't. I'm different than Rock. I don't want to hear from none of y'all, because all y'all full of shit. Like, it's just everybody gonna just come with their shit. Like, because it's like, you know, I think it goes back to Chris Brown for me, and like I'm gonna use Sha'Carri as the same way. You got in trouble with this, and then now you're back at this. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And you only get one chance, and then when you mess up, that's why I hear everybody, oh, LeBron behind the scenes does a lot of stuff. And you know what I'm saying? Well, in front of the scenes, in public eye, he gets away and nobody sees it. So until we get that, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to leave that alone. Let me stop. I'll say it like this. Essentially, strike one, strike two, strike three. And Sha'Carri got to really watch her career. Because with Chris Brown, boom, you had that. And then you were already trying to come back from that. And then there was the Carucci incident. Then there was all these other ones. And it's like, so I just say, like, accountability is key. So surround yourself with people who going to hold you accountable. So that's not her first time. Because if you did it once, you'll do it again. And it's like, I don't think, you know, and I think it goes back to childhood and what you've seen. So I don't know. Like, it's tough for me speaking on this because I feel like I'll be putting people's shit out. But I'm just going to say, like, accountability is key. Make sure you got some good people around you. Make sure you can go vet them and make sure they are who they say they are. And that's the best I could say. Yeah,
and grace. Giving people grace and the ability to change as well.
That's the big one.
You know, like, nobody's going to beat up Sha'Carri Richardson. All right. No, you go out there, do your thing in the world championships and in the Olympics. We get it. This is a situation that happened. Unfortunately, it was just put out there in the public. Nobody's going to beat you down. Right. And, you know, and we're going to give, just like we had to give Chris Brown. Look at Chris Brown now. Right. I mean, nobody's perfect, but you give him grace. I do you one, Dez. Did we not, rest in peace? Did we not give Kobe Bryant grace?
I don't think he ever got. I think he still don't. But I was going to tell you. Here's my thing.
I think people said he fucked up. He came out, and then after that, what happened? He went on to the Olympics. He won championships. People gave him grace.
I think black people did. I don't think.
Personally. What are you talking about? People still hate Michael Vick for the dogs. Like,
that's what I think. That's why I think. But I think that's something what you talked about. We got to put this on the next episode. Like I don't know how to word it, but like something about grace. Not so much just what athlete, but like really, because that's something to be looked at. And I think that goes back to, like, not Trump, but I'm going in politics to say, like, friends and family, like, what does that grace look like? That's the question. People, what's the question? I don't know how to word it, but you got what I'm saying, Rock.
I got you. Yep, I got you.
That's good. You got me thinking now.
People, the real MCs. All right. So what have we seen? What have we watched lately? Go ahead, Gary. What I know you saw. You want to speak on weapons, please?
I saw weapons.
Yeah.
You would see that shit. Oh, it's trash.
It was trash.
Wait. What? Now hold on, Gary. Hold on.
All right, please let us. We gotta hear it. Well,
it wasn't enough violence. It was.
Why you give him a chance to talk in this segment? When the mayor starts it off, it wasn't enough violence. That lets you know something is mentally wrong. Gary, I told you, him and Gary,
are you okay, man? Do we need an intervention?
It wasn't enough violence.
Some
man said I wanted to see some gory, somebody snatch somebody hard out,
somebody spleen out. Like, what the heck, bro? Like,
The only thing that can redeem that movie, they said they might do a prequel because there was a main character that was causing havoc. Mm-hmm. And if they do a story upon the character, that might redeem it. But other than that, you getting all this for right now.
So, Gary, I got a question about that movie. Is it one of those things like where it was like a demon type thing, or
spoiler alert?
Ooh, how can I?
Tell me off screen. Tell me.
No. It's not demon related. I'll keep it at that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not demon related. I keep it at that.
Okay.
So real quick, something that now y'all find out about me. If I don't have a chance to go see the movie, I'll read the plot on Wikipedia, just the same. Right? So I read the story of the movie. Yeah, I mean, it sounded like Prisoners with Hugh Jackman and Jake Gyllenhaal. It sounded very similar to that.
Yeah.
Mixed with, and they just added a few horror elements to it. But again, I didn't see it, but
that's what it wasn't. That's the thing. It wasn't scary. Like there wasn't no. Yeah. It wasn't none of that. The way the trailer made it seem like it wasn't none of that. It was a big letdown. So, and then I saw Fit for TV, The Reality of the Biggest Loser.
Oh, I still gotta watch that. That's on my to-dos. Yeah.
Hey, we watched all 3 episodes last night, and that was so sad, fam. We've been sad as a society for like decades, eons, fam. And the way they broke it down, the contestants that came on, the doctors who was part of it, like it was. I highly recommend that one. And last but not least, I just started this. America's Team, The Gambler and His Cowboys, the one over the Dallas Cowboys on Netflix. I just started that one. And I'm an episode in. There's a few episodes on that one, but I just kicked it off like not too long ago, just 1 episode in.
That's what's up. Well, I got real quick. I know before we pivot into your review, Des, La Palma. So this is an actual concept art from the show, where show as I was telling y'all behind the scenes, but the show is it's on Netflix, 4-part limited series, but it's based on a real place. La Palma is an island off the coast of Africa in Spain, and a couple and their 2 kids go there to vacation pretty much for a weekend or week, whatever. And volcanoes start to erupt on the island, and that's going to cause a massive landslide into the ocean, which then causes a huge tsunami. And so it's just pretty much like breaking down how all of this transpires, how the scientists figure it out, how they try to get people out, get people to a safe space, et cetera, et cetera. But it was actually surprisingly really good. Some parts were a little cheesy, but it was actually surprisingly really good how they put that together. But yeah, so the I can't say it for shit. La Palma, I believe it's like, but yeah, that's also on Netflix too. But so real quick, I had Des, did you have something, or do you want to talk about it during your movie review?
The only 2 things I will recommend, if you have Prime, watch the TV show Countdown. It's pretty solid. I'm gonna do a review on that one. And there's another one, if you are a fan of the TV series on Prime, Bosch. There's a spinoff one called Ballard, which is pretty good, with my girl from La Femme Nikita. And then I'll end it with, on Apple TV, Invasion Season 3 is coming out. So get ready for that.
That first one you mentioned on Prime, would that deal with cops?
Yeah. It's pretty cool. Countdown's pretty cool. It's kind of crazy. I like a good cop show that kind of gives you somewhat realistic but still quirky comedy. Yeah. So it's pretty cool. I gotta go back. I'm gonna try to have a solid review this weekend. So for everybody, y'all. So.
Yeah.
Bet. Well, Des, go ahead. Let's go into Dez's reviews right now. I'm gonna save that next one for the next show. Yeah.
Okay.
So Des.
All right, I already did Man of Steel. If you haven't seen it, I'll just say go watch it. And y'all know me, when I get in my reviews, my little Hey Suarez reviews is basically I do reviews for the homies. So it's just always based for me. I like the new Superman. I think it's one of the better reboots. I do think Man of Steel is better. I think Man of Steel hands down was good. But I know we're going to end up touching base on this a little bit later here in the show. I think right now, just off that Superman, DC is coming. They got some heat. Yeah, they got some heat. And Marvel needs to step it up. I think they fucked up with Blade. And they really fucked up with me with that Fantastic Four. I have a review for that one. I'm going to go a little bit more in depth. But I'm having to watch how I do it. I think the only good thing about Fantastic Four was the Silver Surfer and Suit. That was it. Everything else, you can pack it up, trash it, throw it away. But all the actors did good. But I'm going to go deeper into that. Countdown, like I said, Ballard. I'm trying to think what else I watched. I'm going to do a review soon on Lego Junior. So to let y'all know about that, it's a TV show for family. I'm going to try to touch in. And all I've been doing is just what we've all been trying to do is have we give y'all the juice here, but we have the little pockets outside. So hey, Suarez movie reviews, just to take that little real MC and give another spinoff. And like, I'm not a critic. I don't work in film like Rock. I'm just a person who enjoys watching them, and I do reviews for the homies. It's like, yo, you should check this out. And I love if people feeling it. If not, and I learned something new that my brother Rock just told me. We both are guilty because if I ain't gonna watch it, I'll take a spoiler real quick. I ain't gonna hold you, like, and then I'll go watch it later. Like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I don't do demonic movies, so Gary, I appreciate you telling me that. So, but other than that, that's all I got. Ain't nothing. Most of the stuff. Oh, Mission Impossible. I haven't seen. I think Rocky may have saw it.
Yeah, I saw it. Yep.
I can touch base on that. I feel like I watched. Man, it was a show I watched on Netflix with a girl who was actually in Marvel who plays Super. Sue, not Super. Sue.
Vanessa Kirby.
Yeah. She's on some show on Netflix. That shit is trash. That I can't wait to. It is that look like I'm gonna end with this because this is that shit. I don't even be calling shit trash.
That's why I'm laughing like
I will watch anything, but you lucky I can't sign it to my fucking Netflix right now. But that shit is so bad. I would call my wife in here. That shit was bad. What's her name again, Rock?
Vanessa Kirby. I mean, and she's done some pretty good projects. That's crazy. She good. The baby girl can do her thing. Like she. But that man, I'm gonna find that shit because that shit. Okay. Let me see Netflix's top 10 because if it's in there, I can't wait to that shit. Oh, I watched Hunting Wives. Y'all shouldn't even make that. That ain't nothing but white people porn. That sounds like some
always crazy. Night Always Comes. That's the name of her show. Night Always Comes.
That sounds terrible.
That shit is so. And here's why it's bad, y'all. Like it's like having a friend who can't get their shit together. Like I was like, girl, you doing too fucking much. And the shit she was doing so much that it made me like, this is the worst fucking movie I've seen because you can't get your shit together. It's like we all had that one person like, I like you, but you just got too much shit going on, and I don't think I can fuck with you. That's why I don't like that movie. Because she got too much. She had so much going on, I just couldn't fuck with her. I'm like, but she did a phenomenal job though. She did a great job.
Yeah.
All the actors did. That's it. Other than that.
Real quick, The Chi this past season.
I have not watched The Chi in a minute.
And look, I didn't watch it from the beginning. Right, I started watching it because my lady watches it. I've watched the last 3 seasons with her.
Yeah, did they kill Emmett?
Huh?
I heard Emmett got shot.
He got shot. He didn't die.
Oh, okay, didn't kill my boy.
But how they ended this past season was absolutely trash. Y'all watch the show, you know what I'm talking about. How they took out Lynn Winfield. All right, it was absolutely trash. They took her out, but how? My thing is, y'all know I'm a storyteller, aspiring filmmaker, all that good stuff, right? You build a story. And think of whatever series y'all really were into, right? I was into Game of Thrones, and how that ended was just trash, right? With John, what were we expecting?
I thought Khaleesi was gonna take the throne.
But no, but before that, what were we expecting? Jon Snow to fight who?
Oh, the Night Walker, the Night King.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Did we get that? Did we get that dude? And they built it up for that, right? You kill Jon Snow, you bring him back from the dead. Why? Because he's the only one who's got the sword to stop this dude. And you build it up for his sister to take him out on some crazy acrobatic move where she come. What are we doing? And it was the same thing with the Shy. They built it up to where I forgot the character's name, but another character should have been the one to take Lynn Winfield's character out, and it was just how they ended it. It was just this past season.
I'm gonna Google it. Rock ain't gonna give me the spoil, but I'm gonna Google it, y'all.
But yeah, I ain't gonna say who does it. I'm not gonna spoil, but who does it? It was trash. Like it went nothing with the story. It was out of nowhere. I didn't like it. I don't. You don't build shit up like that to then. I hate stories like that. Like, don't build it up and then you know what I mean? Like, and even if you're gonna make it predictable, it's okay. That's what you build it up for. We see like, oh snap, like how this shit going. This person turn on this person. Oh, they mad now, so now they gotta go get this person. Oh, they mad, so now we already know they gonna kill him or they gonna kill her. You build it up. That's what we be talking. That's y'all know what I'm talking about, right?
I know what you're talking about. It's so disappointing.
You know what I mean? And then it don't end how you expect. It was just crazy. But that was my 2 cents.
Just know, once Kev left, I left. Even though I got support for the Shy. Like, my boy was Kev. Kev was that's
Jason Mitchell's character. Was that him?
Jason Mitchell too. I really have not. The last time I watched the Shy I was done really when Jake and Jimmy got together. But I know Jimmy like old shorty now. Like so like. But like, yeah, after that, like when Kev got done dirty, I kind of just dipped. And then I was going to come back. And then when Kev left the show, the young little dude, Kev, his character kind of left. I left. I was just like, nah. I respect the cast. Shout out to him. But the Shy just kind of seemed like it started getting too all over the place.
Yeah. People, our top 5 or 10. All right. So I took a different approach with this one. All right.
Bullshit,
and I think everybody's gonna feel it. All right, but took a different approach.
Still on that bullshit.
So according to wealth.com, okay, so according to wealth.com, I see you're getting it. I see you. I see on wealth.com. You're hitting that genuine on stuff. My man Genuine, shout out to Genuine, man. 50 years, still killing. But so according to wealth.com, right? These are the top events happening over the next 5 years up to 2030, and in some cases beyond. So we want to give our perspective on which ones are we excited for, which ones we not excited for, which ones we think are going to happen, which are probably not going to happen. All right. So bear with me. Some of these, I'm trying to find the picture. Okay. So first one we got here, it's kind of fuzzy. I took it off my phone, but Grand Theft Auto 6 is coming out next year, which everybody knows, right? And it's based in Miami, right? I think the game is based in Miami this time. Yep. They do New York, LA, or Miami, so I think this one is Miami. So that one, all right, that's dropping. All right, so I'll go through the list, right? So next we got, I'll just pull it up as it comes up. The FIFA World Cup in 2026. So that'll be hosted by the Americas. So U.S. And now that's going to be interesting because U.S. is supposed to host some games. Canada is supposed to host some games. Mexico is supposed to host some games. And the Caribbean. This is about to be very interesting how they gonna pull this one off. That's gonna be interesting. Next up, it may be out of order, but next up, NASA is supposedly launching a new mission to take astronauts back to the moon. Very interesting how technology has improved. Things have improved in life. The cell phone has improved, the computer has improved. Yet we haven't taken anybody to the moon since 1969. Very interesting. Just putting that out there. PlayStation 6, all right, it will launch, I believe, in 2027. And as you see there, they plan on having TVs attached to the damn box. Which, hey, I feel you. I mean, I'm just, I'm a Xbox person myself, but like that's interesting. How they about to have, like, it's literally about to be a laptop game system. I guess that's the model that they about to follow, right? 2 new Avengers movies will hit the theaters. Obviously, we know about Doomsday and Secret Wars, but it's interesting because there's no build-up like the build-up was for Infinity War Endgame. There's no build-up with these two, so this is just everybody just about to come together and fight. So it's about to be interesting. We're gonna circle back to that one. Avatar, James Cameron. Yeah, he's still writing the Native American-based movies. So Avatar. Fire and Ash is coming out in December, the 3rd one. Supposedly, a 48th president will be elected. Supposedly, we will see about that one. All right. Elon Musk is supposedly launching SpaceX that will fly regular citizens like you and I to the moon. All right, so we will get that happening. And then, of course, this is for Dez. LA will be hosting.
Oh, Dez right there.
Right, the 2028 Summer Olympics. Kendrick is likely going to be performing again. Which, hey, I mean, that would be dope. So which ones are y'all most interested in? Which ones are most intriguing? Which ones do y'all think some of these are gonna happen? What's up?
First, let's get it off the rip. You put the wrong Avatar on there. 2026, The Legend of Aang, The Last Airbender Avatar. The real Avatar will be released. I can't wait for that. I just want to say
Last Airbender. That last one that came out was trash. So hopefully they do something better.
See, Rock, I understand you're not the anime fan. This is the anime, my friend. This is
anime. Okay, I'm talking about the live action Last Airbender.
Nah, it was good. It was good. It was better. Did you see that M. Night Shyamalan one?
He did one?
Go watch. Okay, so you never go watch that one. Go watch the very first one, not the next one.
Did Last Airbender? Wow.
Oh yeah, go watch that one, and then you look at the one that we got, and you be like, you know what? Because that one, you remember the Hulk, the Incredible Hulk? So it was so bad that we
the one from like 2003.
That's why Avatar fans, we love that one because it was so bad. You couldn't get no. It's the same with Fantastic Four, but I'll say that to other people. But but honestly, I like your list. James Cameron just needs to stop. That's my point. He just needs to stop. That needs to go. GTA 6. I'm really excited for because the game.
Yeah, same here.
That's gonna be hype.
I'm like the Mike president and the Olympics. I really want to try to go to the Olympics, but I have a thing with big crowds, and LA's already overcrowded, so I'll just be like, So
I think we should. I think we should all plan to go out there. I've never been to LA. I still got to make it out there. Furthest west I've been is Vegas, so I still got to make it out there. But yeah, I think we all should. I think we should all plan it. 2020.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the big one. I'm definitely, because just to say I went to an Olympic, but LA events is just, I might have to sleep in LA that night before going back to my parents' house. So it's just that's a lot. What else? I think it's a good list though. Like World Cup, I'm interested to see the attendance of it, like especially US. And because I feel like there's more to that. And I remember, correct me if I'm wrong on this, they were talking about some immigration stuff with that already. So I'm like, I'm not really 100% comfortable for that for a lot of people. So I'm interested to see how that plays off. But GTA is probably the biggest thing on this list to me. I'm not going to acknowledge NASA because this is the 20th time they sent somebody to the moon, and
Supposedly,
they got people living on the moon. I ain't stupid. They got people living in other places. You know, I had somebody who I can't remember who said it. They were talking about NASA one time. They said all the money that NASA gets, what they be doing?
Same with the military. What are we doing?
So yeah, that's my 2 cents. But yeah, definitely, I'm not acknowledging that PlayStation drop. That shit is trash. DC Marvel rivalry. That's what I almost forgot to say. Like, Marvel. First of all, I love how this is going because Marvel, they got too comfortable in their shit. They got too comfortable. I still think it was lazy trying to do the whole Dr. Doom, Tony Stark thing. I think it was lazy. I'm not impressed by that shit. Like, I was like, that shit is lazy. Like, it's because you really had no direction. What can we do? And you got everybody's attention. Do I think the movie's going to be good? I think that's going to be fucking phenomenal. Even when at this point, if you haven't seen Fantastic Four, like, even at the end of that, when you see the trailer. So, like, I just think at the end of the day, they're getting lazy. I think it's, what is that one? Thunderbolts was amazing to me, but, like, it's still lazy. Like, it's still, like, you're being lazy. Like, it's so bad. But when you watch Superman and you watch how they copied a little bit of their format and they about to fuck y'all up. Are they gonna fuck it up? But like it, I'm really loving it because I think us as fans, especially moviegoers, who if you like both, you can like it's something to enjoy. I like a good Batman movie. I like to see the Joker, like to come out and be the Joker. I want to see Mr. Freeze again. I want to see those things. But Marvel, you haven't given us X-Men. You haven't given us a Blade. Blade, you fucked that up. I don't understand how y'all fucked that up that bad, but you fuck that Blade up. And I'm gonna be honest, the Wakanda, what's the Wakanda series they put out? It was alright. It was alright. So that's my 2 cents. Marvel, step your shit up.
Go ahead, Gary.
Yeah, GTA 6. That was number 1 for me. And you didn't mention the asteroid in 2029.
Oh shit! That's the one I forgot. Yeah. I was trying to look for the other. Did I have that picture? I don't know if I got that picture.
Wait a minute, hold on. Wait,
I missed it. But there's apparently an asteroid named Apophis that will pass by the Earth in 2029.
Yeah, I got to pull it up. 2029.
An interesting year because 2029, as alluded to, you know. Oh, yes, we agree. You got a comment. We agree.
I was so pissed about it. I think everybody is at this point.
Yeah, they could have had one of the best horror films ever with Blade. And I think Rock was the first to break it. That was supposed to be like Sinners was supposed to be Blade. I was like, how do you fuck that up, bro? I'm about to stop.
Well, they didn't want to go in that direction. With taking it back, but then you do that with Fantastic Four, apparently, right? Isn't Fantastic Four based in the 1960s? So you know, I don't get why they couldn't. You know,
have y'all seen Fantastic Four yet?
Still haven't seen. I need to stop.
Seen it yet.
That shows you how trash that shit is. Nobody is interested in that shit. Like, and the actors were great. Let me just stop because
I think it's because it's been so many renditions. You know, at this point, it's just like. You know, how many more? But what was the one, Des, real quick, you was talking about? This went on, because I wanted to keep going. Was it about Marvel? Yeah, you said Marvel was being lazy. They're not moving with purpose like they did in Infinity Saga. Infinity Saga, every movie had a purpose. It was the build up to Infinity War and Endgame. So every movie, you know, even the end credits, it was a build up into the next movie or into 2 movies from now. But everything was leading into what we got in Infinity War and Endgame, which was beautiful, and that's what we were anticipating. The Cap. Avengers Assemble. We were waiting for that moment for the last decade. And it was because of the buildup. We were waiting for him to say that, and we finally got it in Endgame. this doesn't seem like, again, they're, they are being lazy, but it's also, again, because they're not moving with purpose. They did all those TV shows and movies and animated, and they were they were really just trying to do too much. Definitely. But my bad, Gary. I know you were sorry. I just wanted to allude to that.
Oh no, it was just those two. I knew a few of the others were gonna be touching the countdown, so I was like that. It was the GTA, and the asteroid for the most part.
Some days that they were doing, yeah, exactly.
The evil thing about Marvel, and I hate to say this, because they got too comfortable because DC was putting out great animes and cartoons as far as DC, but Marvel was putting out better movies and stuff. But this is the reason, and it's the NBA 2K issue, and that's why I'm glad EA is coming back, because this is why capitalism is needed to this point, because like y'all motherfuckers got too comfortable and you had no competition. Now you're getting competition and you don't know what to do, and your product looking weak. And I hate saying that, but that's to the root of it. Capitalism breeds competition. So
yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Look, with the moon, you didn't send anybody to the moon in 1969. Let's be clear, okay? We all know it was filmed in a studio. We all have the footage of the director who said he filmed it. All right, he's passed away now, but if you do your research, it's a famous director who came out and said, I filmed this in a Hollywood studio in 1969. Okay, plain and simple. All right, so we know y'all didn't go to the moon. That's why y'all haven't been back since. Okay, let's call it what it is. We all live in a dome. All right, there's no space. You can't go past this. All right, Hunger Games. Okay, what happened? She threw the arrow. Boom. The whole shit lit up. Truman Show. Jim Carrey, Truman Show. Where was he at? We're living in a dome. All of this shit is fake. Forget it, man. Forget it. There ain't gonna be no 48 president shit. Trump trying to stay in office. Talking about 48 president election, please. James Cameron, stop making movies about Native Americans. We know exactly what it's about. We understand, okay? For now it's fire and ash, all right? Like, we understand, man. We get it, all right? Yeah. What else? The FIFA World Cup. That is going to be the most interesting shit. We are going. All of these three countries are beefing, right? Like serious beef. Like Canada literally said, "Fuck the United States, fuck Donald Trump." All right, they are fining Canadians that are going into America just if you ain't going there to work. And just to go to New York City or go to LA or go to Miami, they are fining them for coming into America to be tourists. Like, this shit is crazy. So that's going to be very interesting how this play out. Having a game in Mexico City, then having one in Puerto Rico, then having one up in Toronto, then having one in Atlanta and Philly. It's going to be interesting. We going to see. But yeah, people, there is no space. We live in a dome, all right? Nobody's been to the moon. SpaceX is a lie. Elon, all that shit is a lie, all right? It's a lie, all right? Our space is the ocean. That's why they've only researched only 10% of it, all right? And yeah, Neymar, Aquaman, all of them motherfuckers is down there. Yes, I said it, all right? Movies is telling us the truth. We got to start listening, all right? Mermaids. What are mermaids? All right, those are the black ancestors that went into the ocean. All right, let me get off my conspiracy shit, people. As we always like to do in the show. All right, what's the question?
What's the question?
What is the question? And I was going to do one about my man Jalen Hurts and how people are just constantly discrediting him. Now it's it's the narrative that he has so much, with Cam Newton didn't have a lot. Again, we broke down who Cam Newton had. I forgot his running back. Christian McCaffrey, and I think who was Davis? Jonathan? I think it was Jonathan Davis. One of them. He had some pretty good running backs.
Oh, you talking about? Let me look him up.
He had some pretty good running backs. He had Steve Smith.
I know who you're talking about now.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, people to say, "Oh, Cam didn't have a team." They went 15-1. He couldn't get them back to the Super Bowl. First of all, Jalen Hurts is not the GM. He didn't go out there and sign Saquon Barkley. He didn't go out there and trade for A.J. Brown. He didn't go out there and draft all of Georgia's defense from their championship team. That was Howie Roseman. That wasn't Jalen Hurts.
D'Angelo Williams.
Yes.
Thank you. Right? Like, so stop all of that nonsense. Like, and so you mean to tell me you can't be a great quarterback if you have great talent around you? It's the opposite. The only way you can be a great quarterback is if you have the talent around you. Excuse me, would Joe Montana have been considered the greatest quarterback before Tom Brady if he didn't have Jerry Rice? What are we talking about here, people? Dan Marino didn't win a fucking Super Bowl because he didn't have a talented defense. And that man he got him to like 4, I think, throughout his career. If I'm maybe 2 or 3. But Dan Marino, like, people consider him the greatest QB to never win. Why? Because he didn't have a damn D. Imagine if Dan Marino had Barry Sanders in his backfield.
Talk about it.
It's a team sport. Hello, Herman Edwards. Hello, it's a team sport. Anyway, but that's the thing on Jalen Hurts. And what I really wanted to pivot to was this man here. Okay, Stephen A. Smith. All right. Now I think we alluded to a little bit last show. I forgot, but his obsession with LeBron James and now his obsession with Donald Trump. Let me just say this about people like Stephen A. Smith and Stephen A. Smith himself. Yes, you are the $30 million man now. You've been the face of ESPN, for quite some time now. Paid your dues, got fired, came back strong, all of the things. You have, black daughters with black women, highly appreciated, right? All of these good things, you help out your community, which he does, right? Go, went to HBCU, all the great things that we admire, or that we would admire about any black person. But then he drops comments about Trump saying how, what Trump is doing is necessary and it was needed. And he dropped, the diss to Michelle Obama, and he's still on the diss with LeBron James. I just wish that people, especially prominent black people in those positions, understand their voice. As Des, as you alluded to earlier, right? Understanding, the platforms that you're on, your voice and what it means, right? And what you are saying. Because you sound very Libra-ish, forgive me. I was married to a Libra. But I know how they move and operate and think. And he sounds very Libra-ish, and which is stubborn, selfish. They constantly think they're right. It's not them, it's everybody else. Stephen A. Smith is exuding that right now. Especially like with the whole LeBron James thing. Again, dude, how are you mad when you are talking constantly about this man's son? And again, he told you to stop talking about him. If you read LeBron James' lips when he confronted him, he said, I told you, but I'm paraphrasing, but he was pretty much like, I told you before, bro, stop talking about my son. So y'all had a conversation. What are you still mad about? You're only mad because I guess he publicly embarrassed you and confronted you, in public at the game, and it was memes and da-da-da-da-da. But people forgot about that. You want to bring it up again. Why? Because it goes into the second point that Michelle Obama made about you. And that this shit is a reality show for you, dude. Come on. And then on top of that, now you have your own platform, your own podcast, where again, you're promoting this reality show complex where now you're getting into politics. Okay. Now we all dabble into politics on this show, right? And that's not to say we are all experts on politics. I know I'm not an expert on politics, but at the same time, you're wishy-washy when it comes to your politics, Stephen A. Smith, because you also are a person who said what Trump was doing, what Trump was doing was despicable and da-da-da-da-da. And he, I believe he came out and said he didn't vote for him, but I believe now we all know apparently that's a lie, because now you're coming out in support of this man, basically saying everything that he's doing is necessary and is needed. How? Again, to people like Stephen A. Smith who think like Stephen A. Smith, do you not see the blatant shit that is going on, the blatant bigotry and racism from the supposed commander-in-chief? The one person who is supposed to be unbiased towards the American citizens is the president. Let Barack Obama had come into the office and said, yeah, all my niggas about to get all this shit now. Like, yeah, I'm about to put all my black people on. Can you imagine? But yet, and black people would have shut Barack Obama down. Stephen A. Smith probably would have been one of those same black people. They've been like, oh, no, Obama, this country is for everyone. Why are we allowing Trump to get away with this same shit? And Stephen A. Smith, again, your voice, millions of people listen to you. And this is the type of rhetoric you want to put out there. This is exactly why we have black conservatives debating against Amanda Seals, who don't know, who listen to Stephen A. Smith and people like him and Candace Owens of the world and regurgitate whatever they're saying. This shit has got to stop. You know what I mean? And so, Stephen A. Smith, again, we're not on your quote unquote level, and you probably won't hear this. But you have a responsibility. Yes, you do. All you prominent black people. I don't give a shit. I'm tired of people saying, oh, they don't have responsibilities to us. We watch your platforms. We buy your movies. We buy your music. Okay? We buy your products. You have a responsibility you saw Chris Brown out there dancing in the fucking rain in Toronto. Why? Because he has a responsibility to his fans. He said, no, a lot of these motherfuckers flew from around the world to come see me in Toronto. I don't give a fuck if it's pouring raining. I am putting on a show. Michael Jordan said it. I'm sure if you haven't watched The Last Dance, go watch it. After he lost to the Orlando Magic, told his trainer, I'll see you in the gym tomorrow. Why? His trainer said it because he told me he has you're going to sit down and pay your money and watch me for 2 or 3 hours. I have an obligation to give you my absolute best. Same thing goes with Stephen A. Smith and people like him. We're going to sit there and watch you. We have a right. Obviously, you can have your opinions, but at the same time, you still have a responsibility to your race, to your black people, to your black daughters. Okay, like let's be real here and think about what we're putting out there. The messages that we are putting out there, prominent black people who are in these positions to speak. Okay, now it's cool. Thank you for speaking, because to Dez's point earlier, now we know what's up with you. Okay, so thank you for that. But at the same time, we're just putting you on notice that it's sad, it's embarrassing, it's pathetic. All right, that you do think and feel this way when you see blatantly what Trump and this administration is doing to black people like yourself.
Stay off the weed.
Yeah.
Stay off the weed.
Yeah.
Right.
Ain't for Stephen A. like that.
Man, people, greatly appreciate everybody for tuning in. Again, listen to us now on Spotify, iHeartRadio. All right. Thank y'all for tuning in on live. This will be on YouTube. Thanks for tuning in on Twitch, IG. Of course, we're gonna be dropping clips. We won't be back until middle of September. Still trying to finalize the date on that, but be back in middle of September, giving each other, break. I got, vacation coming up. Gotta relax. Get some, some R&R, some whatever they call it. Some rest and respiration, right? Yeah. We all try to get things in order, for the fall season. But yes, this fall season is going to be crazy. We're going to be going from September to a week before Christmas time. So yeah, just everybody just saddle up. But yeah, fellas, do y'all shout outs, man.
Yeah, man. I appreciate y'all, man. As always, lock in and we get to come together and do this. So I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, until September, right then my fantasy team will be going. So
Yeah, for sure. Appreciate y'all as usual. Always look forward to these. And I wanted to make a quick correction. Cam Newton had Jonathan Stewart when they went to the Super Bowl.
Stewart, that's him, Jonathan Stewart. Yep.
All in all, though, the point is he didn't make it happen compared to the person he's talking down on. That's the whole point. You know what I'm saying? We're going to leave it at that as far as what I got to say. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I appreciate y'all for checking it out on streaming, all that. We're going to be back in September. By the time the next episode comes, I'll be 40 years old.
Oh, so man.
Like
happy birthday, of course, we're going to drop the happy birthday, but, you know, we got man, happy birthday, Gary. Happy birthday, Gary. Yeah. Absolutely, man. Love y'all, fellas. All right. And, hey, thanks for everybody for tuning in. Peace and love, everybody.